Hi everyone, done a full beat face in about a week and I'm itching to do one. And I also want to use some glitter. So last time I used the MAC pigment in gold, which was really pretty, but today I want to use the rose gold one. So that's going to be kind of like a little bit of a shimmer that I want to see, not a shimmer, sorry, a pigment. But let's go ahead and get started. So I've already kind of moisturized that because we're going to be outside today by the pool, and it's going to be 91 degrees, and yeah. So I need my makeup to last. I need stops for my makeup. Okay, so let's start with brows. Okay, I'm gonna use, y'all know it, my LA Girl brow pomade. Okay, and I cleaned my eyebrows a little bit last week. So this side is growing in a little bit better, but it's still taking some time. I fill them in kind of messily, like you guys know. I just like go for it, and then the concealer, the foundation helps to just kind of clean everything up so it doesn't have to be perfect at this stage. But so I basically just kind of like fill them up, kind of get it where I want, and then shape it later. Okay, so that's why I'm being a little bit messy, and they might look a little bit bushy, but that's okay. Same thing on this side. If you guys have tried the LA Girl brow pomade or looked at my videos and it's helped you, comment and subscribe. It'll just make me happy, like, ooh, I helped somebody do their eyebrows. And then next week we'll do some, I'm gonna use some other tools. I have Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade, and I also have pencils that I wanted to use. And I also wanna use the NYX. They're like these strokes. So we're gonna do some videos of those next week, so stay tuned. Just to show you that you can do your eyebrows in a multitude of ways. This is just my preference because I like how it fills my eyebrows and how the final look looks. And I know the pencil really is more natural looking, so I use it a lot for like my clients, but I like more defined brows right now, so I just go ahead and define them. So yeah, there it is. See, we're all like kind of filled in. I left this area here because just comb it in like this. I want it to look more natural. I don't want it to be super blocky and filled. So we'll just comb it in. You see how it kind of disappears? That line just kind of disappears into your brow. Like that's what you want. That's it. That's it. Okay. Perfect. So excited to go out a little bit today. It's Friday. I was off. It's 4th of July. Yeah, so it's gonna be nice to go out early. I love day parties. Catch me at a day party, bar hopping. I love that stuff. Nighttime is where I struggle a little bit because I don't like to be out like late. Like I'm a morning person. Like even today I was off and I woke up at 7 o'clock. So it's like I just have more energy earlier in the day, and during the evening time is like kind of where I need rest. All right, I love it, I love it, I love it. So the next thing we're gonna do is get some concealer, and we're gonna carve out the brow, and also gonna carve out area for the eyeshadow, obviously. So this is in Honey. It's a very close color to my skin color, and I'm just gonna use it also to shape my eyebrow a little bit. At least just the inside. Same thing on the other side. See? Very nice. All right, and of course we're gonna take our Real Techniques concealer brush and blend down. And this will also be the base for our eyeshadow. There it is. Okay, so now that's kind of cleaned up a little bit, I do want to set this down. So I'm going to take my Airspun powder, and I'm just going to use that to set my eyes. And I've seen plenty of people like not set their concealer and just go right into an eyeshadow, but the creasing, I just don't like to see it. And I know like once you start doing eyeshadow, it's fine, it'll go away, but like I just don't like to see it. I don't like to see the creases before I even get started. So I like to set with just a very thin layer so that it gives me a good canvas to start working on. All right, So I do want to use that rose gold. So what I'm thinking about doing is doing like a smoky brown on the outside so that I can put the rose gold on the inside. I'll just go ahead and use my Juvia's because I have darker browns in here and multiple browns that I can use to kind of build up the coverage. All right, first things first, we're gonna go in with just a little fluffy brush and we're gonna take a brown and I'm just going to pat in right here and start building that into my crease right here. Build it out a little bit. You see that? I'm doing all right here. I'm leaving a little tiny space there for the eye, under the eyebrow. Yep, and I'm just going to keep patting it in just like that. Get a nice brown base there in the corner. Bring it out. So that's what it should look like. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Same thing, I'm just gonna pat down here, start there, and then I'm just gonna move in and move out. Just gently blend, blend, blend. Take another bit, I think about 4 times, maybe 3 or 4 times of this. And of course, this is just not dark enough brown for me, but it's like my first layer of brown. So now I'm gonna switch brushes and I'm going to go to a little bit of a darker brown. Same thing, just a small fluffy brush. I'm gonna dip into the darker brown and I'm just going to pat off some of the excess and I'm gonna take it in the same kind of area. Mostly, instead of going in such a large scope though, I'm gonna keep this more concentrated in the corners just to give it that depth. So you're not just like smearing it all in, you're just giving the brown, the darker brown, a little place to live. So you can already see it's darker there. So I'm gonna do maybe like 2 more versions of this. Again, pat out the extra and just take it into that corner and blend. Beautiful. Okay, and I'm gonna do that 1 more time. Again, get off that excess and in you go. Keeping it close to the corners, blending. You see the difference here? We have the brown underneath, we have the darker brown going as well, and then I want to do another layer, but let's do the same thing on the other side first. So I did about 3 layers of this. Corner, pat, 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 blend, 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 blend. Keep it in a smaller scope in the corner of the eye here. Okay, let's go in for another one. Excess, back in there. And we're gonna do 1 more. Layering is everything with makeup. Layering is everything. So now look, we have a really built, getting there type of smoky eye. You see that? Okay. So I like it, but now I want to be a crazy person and I want to do a darker color. So I'm going to go with the darkest brown in here. And I'm going to go in with, instead of like a fluffy brush, I'm going to go in with a brush that's a little bit more defined because I want to place the product in very certain areas. So I'm going to use this super skinny kind of fluffy brush, but it's going to be for a very specific area. It's going to bring us like more control from the brush, and I'm going to use it just from here to here, and then I'm going to just smoke it out. That's all I'm doing. So go into your darker brown. Again, you're going to hit off the extra, and then I'm just going to take it and I'm just going to kind of go over like this. Very, very defined. And then I can even just place and blend after. But it's bringing more of a smokiness. But the smaller brush provides you a little bit more smokiness and more precision. So now look at look at this side versus this side. You see how you can really see the 3 layers? I know it's like blended really well, but that's what happens. Like you start with the lighter colors first, and then you move into the dark so that you can really see the layering. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I'm just gonna actually place the product, and then I'm just gonna work it back and forth until I really get it defined. You see that? The smokiness, beautiful. Okay, so we have layers. We have 3 different shades of brown, and we have a serious smoky eye going on. So now what I want to do is I want to kind of define this little bit of space that I left under my eyebrows. I'm going to use the OneSize. This is in medium. It's a pressed powder. I'm going to use this instead. So I'm going to take let's see, I'm also going to take a brush that is kind of skinny, but it's still fluffy. I'm going to take some of that pressed powder, and I'm just going to, and you see how it blends with that top layer so that it looks really even, and it makes it, look at this one and look at this one. It helps blend out that eyeshadow. So very lightly, and it helps blend that area out so you don't have these like hard lines. That's it, just very lightly. That's it. You see that? Perfect. All right, and the next thing I want to do is I want to work this portion because I want to get ready to put my rose gold glitter. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the OneSize. This is in light, and I'll use it in the fronts. So like right here, help blend this area out and get ready for my pigment. Okay, so we've made space for our pigment. And what I like about this pigment is you don't really need any glue. Like you don't need the NYX glue that you use for like other glitters and shimmers and stuff like that. But if you want to, you can obviously use it. But I've found that these pigments they go on pretty good, and you don't need that extra layer. But if I were putting this on my client, I probably would, just because I always want to give them the best lasting chance of like perfection I can. So for myself, I will not. I will just apply. Okay, so a little goes a long way with these pigments that I kind of use to put on the little bit of pressed powder, and I'm just going to gently take some, and I'm going to start placing. And we're going to slowly work it up. We're not going to just dip and bam. We're going to work it slowly up. So you can see it has quite a bit of good shine to it. This is the rose gold color. Again, just going to work it up and blend it mostly with my smokiness over here. So yeah, we're just going to take that, work it in. So you see how pretty it is, and it's like really not overwhelming or anything. And I'm doing about 3 layers of this. But it blends really, really well, and it's not a glitter, so that's what's nice. And there's not a lot of fallout from it either, which is also nice. Okay. There's that. Let's do the other side. Again, placing a little bit and just working it in. And just like that. Very, very pretty. Now, it doesn't really look like a rose gold on my skin. It looks like just gold. So I would love to try this on a more fair complexion just to see what it would look like. And oh my God, on dark skin, it would be just beautiful. I already know it. I would love to try various complexions with this and see what it looks like, and I just think it would probably be beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Putty primer, get some on my face. So cheeks mostly. Again, thin layer just on top of your skin. Don't rub it in. Before, when I first started, I used to hate primer because I wasn't applying it correctly, and it would end up leaving these weird streaks in my makeup, and I would get very upset, and I would have to start over, and then I would just stop using it because I didn't understand that it's just like a layer over your skin to like make the what is it called, pores and stuff kind of lay down a little bit and not have so much texture. Of course, you're never gonna get rid of the texture, but it does help kind of give it a more seamless, natural look. So I do want to use my favorite Estee Lauder. It's a good time to shape your eyebrows from the top. All right, I'll let the rest of the work go to my foundation brush. Now, it is a very thin layer. I don't use a lot of this foundation. I usually use a thin layer. And that's just preference. I usually don't use a thick layer of foundation. I don't really think it's very necessary, but you can always, if you need a little bit more extra coverage, add a little bit more LYS stick. Again, I'm gonna take it from the corner here, and I'm just going to, that's it. That's as deep as I'm gonna go. And you're gonna blend all this into your hairline and nose. And I love the shape of the triangle. It's actually perfect for the application. My contour brush here, ready on the go. And this is a perfect color for me. I think it's called No Limits. And it's 2 or 3 shades darker than myself, and so it's like perfect. It's like not too harsh. Blend into your hairline. Keep it up, don't bring it down. Take this into your eyebrow. Give it a more natural kind of situation. Okay. There's that. You've created your shadows. Next thing we're gonna do is go into some blush. I'm going to use, since it's summer, let's use this really bright pink. This is in the color Coming in Hot Pink. They are very pigmented, so a lot is gonna go a long way here. There you go. Place it right above the contour. I'm gonna take my designated cream blush brush, and I'm going to just blend. And start small. Don't just start getting in there. Just, you know, kind of see where it is, especially if the blush is new. And take it all right in here. Blend. And you can see I take some right here into my eye, but I have dark circles, like I have dark pigmentation under my eyes, and so a little bit of blush underneath my concealer like helps my pigmentation. So just, you don't have to bring it as far in as, you can just keep it right here and just blend it up and down. That's fine. But when you apply your concealer, it's gonna kind of get rid of all that. And a little bit of pink with concealer is so beautiful that I love the look, and so I just take it all the way in. There you go. Layers, guys, layers. All right, now we are finally ready for some concealer. So I'm gonna use the Estee Lauder concealer. This is in 3N medium neutral. Beautiful formula, beautiful formula. And I'm gonna apply 2 layers of concealer under my eye today because I want a lot of coverage. I just wanna be snatched. So this is gonna be my first layer. Of course, we gotta get the nose. And you wanna get it right here. A lot of people put it right here. I personally don't. But I do put it like right there. And then, of course, you're gonna give yourself a little lift with the concealer and just kind of clean that all that area up. Your eyeshadow, it's like gonna help you clean up your eyeshadow. And while this is drying down just a little bit, actually all of it can kind of dry down just a tad bit. If you want to go in with a fan, you can. I am, just because I'm probably running out of time at this point. Just dry it down a little bit. I also have a designated concealer brush for the rest of my face. I'm gonna start with the cheeks, and just to kind of define that corner a little bit. Define size. The top here. Okay, and now that we've done kind of those larger areas, I'm gonna go in with a smaller, I'm gonna go in with just a smaller brush and do the nose. That's it, just straight line. Straight line, it'll blend with everything else. And then I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques concealer brush, and I'm gonna go in and start blending under the eye. So I'm gonna just blend up, down, take it to the side, and then I'm going to feather this area out. Okay. Look how seamlessly that concealer blends with the blush. And you see how extreme this kind of looked, but look how soft it looks now. And that is the beauty of putting your concealer on after you applied your blush, cream blush. So yeah, makes it super soft. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Beautiful. You see that? You can still see the concealer, you can see the blush. This is beautiful. Perfect. I did say I was gonna do another layer of concealer, but this time I'm only gonna put the concealer under the eye. I'm not gonna do it here because I like the way the blush is looking and I don't need it there. Okay. And of course, we're gonna let that dry down a little bit. Okay, while that's drying down a little bit, so what I've been doing lately, which is maybe a little strange, but I've noticed that if I go and set these areas of my face now, and then I put a layer of pressed powder over it, my face feels heavy. The makeup feels heavy. But if I do pressed powder after this part and then do my setting powder, it doesn't feel as heavy. It's very strange, but it seems to work so far. So we're gonna go with that. This is in medium by OS, OneSize. And I'm gonna take just like a big fluffy brush here, and really just gonna pat it in. Like a thin layer of that first. Same thing on the forehead. Helps blend out this area too, so you don't have defining lines, you just have like a nice blend. Very nice. And I'm also gonna do that line on my nose. Okay. Now we can go back to our concealer and work that in. The extra layer of concealer coverage is really nice. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry just a little bit more before I go in with the pressed powder. I found that the worst thing of going in with like any type of pressed powder or loose setting powder is going in on wet product under your eyes, because then it gets patchy real quick, and that is the equivalent of removing the concealer and the layer and redoing that little layer, because the patchiness doesn't go away. It's not forgiving. So let it kind of dry down a little bit more. Okay, while that's drying down, let's go ahead and set our contour that's been kind of sitting for a while. To set it, I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty. This is in Island Ting, and it's a pretty brown. I've been using the hell out of it, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another fluffy brush, just kind of dip that, and I'm going to go right in. I didn't even bother taking off the excess because I want it all. So we're going to take that into the corner here. And it's like not too dark, which is really nice because I can add a couple of layers and then it's not too harsh. Don't worry about your blush. We're gonna go and we're gonna set that down as well afterwards. So yeah, Island Ting is like the perfect bronzer color for eye. And if you are my sister skin shade, try it out. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to take some with a smaller brush and I'm just going to make sure I also set my contour on my nose. Perfection. All right, so now I really want to go in with under my eye. I want to set it, but as you can see, some of the concealer has become separated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with my concealer brush and I'm just going to kind of blend it out to make sure there's no excess kind of stuck in those creases. Same thing on the other side. All right, so now I think we're okay. So remember, we used the one size in medium. We're going to use actually the light in one size for the under eye area. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a fluffy brush. Just take some and slowly start adding it in. Just slowly work it in. Because it's still kind of wet, so this kind of gives it a base to set a little bit before I go in and really set it. But look how beautiful that looks. It's so pretty, this formula. One Size knows what they were doing. Look at the difference between this side and this side. So now we're gonna go in and also loosely work this area out. Beautiful. Beautiful. So now that we've gotten powder kind of all over our face, now I can actually go in and set with my Laura Mercier. We're gonna go in with a powder puff. What you wanna do is you wanna take some excess off and go and set. Take that remaining that you took off set. Okay. Okay. I'm a little bit heavier handed on this area because I'm going to be wearing sunglasses, and so I want to make sure I have a good amount of setting powder there. We are nice and set. There are no more wet products on our face. Everything is nicely balanced and set. But I look like a ghost. I look like my makeup is nowhere near being done. This is a totally normal stage. You took a little bit of color out because you're setting your creams, which is necessary, absolutely necessary. And so now I have these nice, beautiful layers underneath, and they're really gonna come through. But to bring that color back into my face, which I have to bring the color back into my face, which is another layer that's gonna help accentuate the makeup. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back in with my contour. So I'm gonna use my Fenty Island Ting. Oops. And I'm gonna start with my contour first. So not too much, but just a small layer. You see how that's already bringing back the color? That's what you want. Same thing for the other side. Not too much, just a tad. So contour color, all set. Don't forget about your nose. So nose, and I set it extra because I know I'm gonna be wearing sunglasses, and you'll get some of that makeup removed with the sunglasses, and so I like to add extra layers. So nose is nice and set, contoured, color back in. Now we're going in with our blush. You're gonna use a powder blush. So I'm gonna be using my Nike Beauty because I like to use things until they're done. And I like to use an angled brush for my powder. So I'm gonna dip it. I usually dip it into the pink and the peach. Take off the excess and start slowly working up. Slowly start working up. Make sure you're keeping it over your contour. Look at the difference between this side and this side. Color back in the face, like it never left. So there, same thing again. A little bit on the nose, nothing crazy. We haven't even sprayed yet, guys. At this stage, you can spray. A lot of people spray within their layers. I don't. I tend to spray one now and then one at the end, which is my preference. So I'm gonna use my Morph. Give her a nice wet spray and dry down. Layers are nicely blended. We're gonna go back into our Juvia's Place, and you could pick whatever brown you want. I'm gonna pick a lighter brown. Probably gonna go in with a very skinny brush, and I like to have a layer right under my eye, and then I like to match it up into my eyeshadow a little bit. But it gives it a little bit of contour, a little bit of depth, and it's really nice. Like, look at the difference between this and this. Then when you add your lashes, your mascara, it's gonna just look really nice. And it helps hide a little bit of the creasing, the natural creasing that we have under our eyes. That's it. That's that for that. So we did a spray. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with a little bit of glitter. We're gonna do some highlight. Take some, just excess, and right above your blush. Nose, here. A little bit under the eye. I always kind of go over the nose a little bit because I don't like too much on the front there. Beautiful. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. Whew. All right, what do we got? Let's do some mascara because we're gonna put on some lashes today. So actually, do I want to do lashes? Oh, probably should. So mascara first. I probably won't do any eyeliner just because I've already put on my mascara and I should have done my eyeliner before mascara. Just because it's harder to apply it when you already have your lashes standing up. Bottom lash. I always take a little bit into my eyebrow, like whatever excess I have. Should kind of redefine it after all of the powder. I'm gonna do some glitter like in the middle right here, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and put some of this glitter on top of the shimmer as well, just because I think glitter. Take a new brush. Just gonna go over that a little bit. And then just bring it right here. Same thing on the other side. Boom. So we have that glitter going there. Blend that out. Perfect. Okay, so before I do the lashes, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do some, I'm gonna do a lip. But before I do that, I am gonna take back my light OneSize and I'm gonna put a little bit more powder under my eye. Really brighten it up. Okay, and I'm also gonna go in like a crazy person with some more setting powder. And then also more setting powder here, just because of the glasses, trust me, you're gonna need it. All right, let's do lips. I want to use Huda Beauty. This color is in Her Majesty, and I'm gonna use it as a liner. And this is a very long lasting lippy, love it, so. And it dries really fast too. So we've got our lip liner. And let's see, what should we do? Oh. I think I'm gonna use Lawless. This is in Fawn. So, get a nice layer going. I mean, the lip. I obviously need a little cleanup here. I think everybody can see that. So I'm gonna go back in with my Too Faced concealer. I'm gonna grab a flat brush and just take some of that extra off right here and then just clean it. I think I got some right here too. Okay, and then top. Perfect. Take your concealer brush. And then you're gonna take your setting powder. Okay. Perfect. All right. My lippy is looking really good. I want to go over it a little bit more. Layers, guys, layers. And I'm going to just use a Juvia's Place. This is in Luxe Liner Espresso, just because I lost a little bit. And that layers of liner is really going to help. Beautiful. Go back in a little bit more with my Lawless in Fawn. Okay. Before I go in with my gloss, I'm going to give her another spray. So again with my Morph. Just love it, guys. I love it. And because I think I'm really liking just the look the way it is, I'm not gonna do lashes, don't kill me. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with my Sky High Maybelline mascara, and I'm gonna just give her another layer. I mean, I'm gonna be wearing sunglasses. We're gonna be outside the whole time. I mean, who's gonna see the lashes? And I mean, my eyelashes look really good. But to give it a little bit drama just for myself, I think I do want to do like a lower line kajal. So I'm not a big fan of this one. It's a Lotus Makeup Natural Kajal, but I mean, whatever. I'm just gonna do like a thin layer. Really should do it like this. Close around it. It's a very thin layer. It's nothing crazy. You close your eye around it and then you pull it through. And that's how you get kajal on. And you get it at the top and the bottom. Looking pretty. And let's do a lip gloss to really give it that final looky look. You guys, the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss formulas are fucking amazing, long lasting. I mean, the formula is so good. I want every color, every single color. These are two of my favorite colors. This is Cotton Candy and then this is Guava. These are my fucking favorite, okay? But today, I think I want to go with Guava, which is the lightest color, and I just fucking love it. But just watch the application, okay? Just watch. And you don't even need a lot. So there's that. Now look. Just, I mean, just freaking amazing coverage. Look how beautiful it is. Yeah, beautiful. I mean, just gorgeous. And it feels so good. This is my favorite. And you can see like my lip liner is a little bit too outlined. So I'm gonna just use this NYX Butter Gloss. This is in Brownie Drip to make sure that it's glossed as well. It takes the harshness away from the lines and it gives you another layer. But there it is, guys. Do we love it or do we love it? Because it's giving gorgeous. So I hope you guys have a really wonderful weekend, long weekend. Be safe and leave comments and like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.